Why? Why
Did
did
you see
do
that?
Yeah, why did you do that?
I have no idea.
All right. Anyway, well, let's bring it in. Episode 7. We're live. Philly's playing 30 minutes. I know that you have some things that you want to talk about, so I'm just going to say this, and then I'll let you kind of do what you want to do. The one thing that I took away from this weekend is, well, first off, the Giants fucking blow, but second, everybody talking about the Eagles for some reason, and I try to be like a super unbiased fan, as I feel like I am. I don't understand like why people are like saying anything negative about the Eagles. Like they're like, well, they're undefeated, but they don't have a quality win. It's like, well, every win's quality. They control pretty much damn near every game. At the end of this weekend's game, like should you have probably been trying to run out the clock? Yeah, but like at the same time, they were ripping bombs to AJ Brown, and he had a massive day. So they did what they had to do. They ended up winning, but still, I just like their defense has been banged up. They lost a few guys already. They're starting to get healthy. They're still good on D. Their pass blocking has been like subpar, but you can't look at me and say that like a group of guys like the Eagles have with their offensive line aren't going to be able to figure it out at some point. And then their run blocking is the best in the league. They have DeAndre Swift looking like who he was supposed to be when he was coming out of college, which I feel like a lot of people kind of gave up on him, like the Lions did. And Devontae Smith looks like he's taken a step up. AJ Brown is always amazing. Like I think Jalen Hurts' shoulder injury is probably playing a fact into it, like a little bit. But other than that, like I just don't really see too many weaknesses or issues, I guess, with the Philadelphia Eagles team. But everybody seems to feel the complete opposite. But you don't hear anything on the other side of the spectrum when the Cardinals play the 49ers extremely tough and then pull out at the very end. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so you touched on a lot of things right there.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. So, first, I would say that people are just starting to like really nitpick, which is totally fair. I do kind of agree with the quality win part of it. I think the Commanders are probably the best team that they've played so far. If I'm remembering the schedule correctly. And I think Sam Howell looked good. I do think the Eagles are still banged up. The defense has a couple questions. They need to figure it out. They need to figure out that second safety spot and potentially the corner, like the inside slot. They moved Bradbury there, but Job has been on the outside and he's done fine, but he didn't have that great of a game this past weekend, but they still ended up pulling out a win.
Isn't he a rookie?
Yeah. And again,
Rookie,
exactly.
4 games
I
into
get
the
it.
year.
I totally get it.
Was he undrafted?
Either super late or undrafted. Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm really not that concerned about it.
yeah.
I do think that they should have run the clock out and just won that way, but I'm not going to complain about a victory. I think the offense looked a lot better. I think this was Jalen's best game for sure. Something that I heard today was that Jalen Hurts is getting blitzed second most in the NFL.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Him and
Who said that?
And Justin Herbert. It was Russillo.
Yeah, Russillo. Yeah, I listened to that,
which
too.
is a crazy stat. So I think that's sort of why we've seen the passing game look a little bit different than we did last year. But then again, it's only been 4 games and they have a new coordinator. I mean, there's going to be a little bit slower of a start. And I said this last week. I would rather have them winning ugly now and figuring things out early rather than get to the end of the year or get to that second half of the season when they do play the Chiefs, when they do play the Niners, when they play the Bills and the Dolphins. Dolphins isn't, I don't think necessarily second half, but like middle to back half of the schedule when they have a gauntlet that they have to go through. I'd rather get it figured out now than show up at those games and still be working through stuff.
And honestly, dude, like there is going to be a lot of figuring things out. Like we're super early into the season. Last year at this time, the Niners were 1-3. The Bears were 3-1. The Bears suck. The Niners literally rung off 11 straight wins. Like there's going to be, the Eagles can drop the next 4 games. Like it might have the fan base in a panic, but like, I think that like, I guess just me watching this weekend and like a clear letdown spot for the Dolphins, even too, like going to Buffalo after scoring 70. Like we should have probably sniffed that out. Like they were just due to lose. And like just thinking, like just watching this weekend, it was just like, okay, like there's the NFC teams are clearly far superior from like a completeness standpoint and like who were like quote unquote like most scared of, but like other than that, like there's a ton that needs to get figured out still, like regardless.
Yeah, I think we're probably the most sure about probably 3 NFC teams: Eagles, Niners, and I think the people are still. I think I'm still pretty sure about the Cowboys. Like I think it's going to be and the Lions. I think I am sure about the Lions too, actually. But there's a lot more like uncertainty based off of what we saw this past weekend in the AFC.
Bro, and I'm not trying to be like conspiracy theorist or anything like that because Andrew was kind of fucking yelling at me about it. But I never watched a game where it was just so clearly rigged on Sunday night when the Chiefs played the Jets because they like absolutely needed that game to be good. Like,
yeah.
I know that's not, like I'm not trying to sound like super crazy, but like 96% of the money is on the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody and their mother had like over in Travis Kelce's yards. They were boosting like everything. Of his. Everybody was betting touchdowns. Then he finishes under his yard, no touchdowns. Mahomes slides so they don't cover the spread. Like I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to sound like crazy, but like I don't know. I felt like that was like the first like rigged game that I've ever watched, like live time.
I think it's also kind of hard it's kind of hard to do that, right? Like you can obviously have the refs make up a lot, but at the end of the day, like you still have to go out and execute plays. And I mean, Zach Wilson, props to him. We've been shitting on him all year. He had a great game. Mahomes had 3 picks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's
like it looked like Mahomes ate an edible before the game and he was stoned. Like I just think that like and whatever, like good for Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson like still fucking sucks. Like hate to be the person to break that news, but the only thing that it does for the Jets fans now is give them like a slight bit of hope, and that sucks for them because they're just gonna get crushed.
Yeah, that's probably the worst case scenario that they could have had was either winning or playing that type of game against the Chiefs, like down to the last minute. Because now they're, like you said, they have a little bit of hope and they're like, oh, maybe we're not that bad on offense and we might be all right moving forward, but it's probably not going to be like that.
I think we have to also address like a clear elephant in the room. The Patriots got absolutely boat raced last weekend. Mac Jones played an awful game, but like I'm sitting there, like I watched that entire game for whatever reason. I don't know why. I forget what other game was on. Bro, I just think that like they are just like so off. Like nothing about that team seems like they're on the same page, like with anything. And the second like one thing starts to go wrong for that team, like it seems like every coordinator crumbles. And then once the coordinators crumble, the team is like crumbling. And it's just like, and then you like look at the team that they like that Bill has built, and it's like very underwhelming. The offensive line looks absolutely brutal this year, and I thought that would kind of be like once they got healthy, like a highlight. Ramondre Stevenson, like I don't
Him
know
and Najee
what
Harris have been hanging out a lot in the offseason because they both look like they've never ran the football before.
I don't know what happened to Ramondre. Like last year, he like had a nice little breakout and like looked decent, like looked like a decent weapon. Like I
He
just think
looks
that
promising coming into this season. Like you coming into this season, the Patriots did not even consider running back because of how well he played last year. It's like, oh, we have Ramondre, don't even need to worry about it. And you're right, he hasn't looked. He's
no, he
looked like
looks
all of himself.
yeah, he looks bad. I stand by like what I say about Mac Jones until like he's done playing. Like I think he could have like a caliber career like Kirk Cousins, like at the high end. But like right now, whatever he's doing in New England and whatever New England's doing, like I think it's pretty much like safe to say, like, and it hurts to say this because they just lost two of their best weapons on defense, but like they're probably a cross off for the season. Like they look terrible. So
Yeah,
I,
especially with how good the Bills and Dolphins are. Like that division is
and the
I mean,
Jets will play them tough. Like they're gonna play
for
the
sure.
Patriots tough, but
They already did, but the Jets just also
suck.
suck, and the Patriots own them. So it ultimately seems like as close as they play them, the Patriots are just going to continue to own them until
It sounds
like
like it's just going to be Bills, Dolphins, Dolphins, Bills, Pats, Jets, like kind of what it's been the
yeah,
last couple of years. I thought the Patriots could sneak out a few more wins this year and get to like the 8 to 9 range, but I don't know, man. They just look really bad. They just look like a bad team, and the Cowboys just absolutely boat race them like bad.
yeah, yeah. That was a big confidence boost for the Cowboys, especially after looking very bad against the Cardinals. They
No
needed they
doubt.
needed that. They needed
No,
that
yeah, they made that
badly. I
bad.
mean, and they went in there and took care of business and did their thing. So good for
Well,
them.
we'll obviously get into a few more games, whatever you want to touch on. I don't so we kind of get back into structure a little bit, but the elimination pool, obviously, I picked the Bears and the Vikings. The Bears absolutely sold the bag. Like
They folded.
I texted you at like halftime. It was like 28-0. I was like the Bears with the all seeing eye emojis. And
Hmm.
I was just like, because I was like, I was shocked, honestly. I thought it would be a close game. I did say it was going to be the best game on the slate, and it low key was, honestly. Like it just had like that potential where it's like both of those teams are so hungry for a W. And like I won, like it was fun. Like I watched the entire game. Like it was kind of fun to watch like Justin Fields like do his thing again and like be decent, like because you know he can play football. And then like on the other side of things too, like it was cool to like hashtag let Russ cook. Like it was just a cool game. I like that game a lot. I mean, like the Bears lost, but it was a cool game.
Yeah, so I have a couple things about that. So this weekend I was at Xfinity, and it's that place is electric for watching Eagles games. I will say it is very difficult to watch all the other games at the same time as well. Um, they had red zone on in like the very top left, like single box. So I could pretty much only go along with what was going on up there and then on my phone. And when I saw that the Bears were, I think it was what, like 28-7 at half or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, wow. I certainly did not expect that. And then um, as the Eagles game went on, and I went on to see that the Broncos ended up winning that game, I was shocked.
Yeah, it was
Um, I
crazy.
thought that I thought that the Bears were going to end up just taking care of business and winning that game. It was the Cole Kmet game for
Yeah,
sure.
he's back.
Um, he went and balled. Um, there was another thing that I had in mind for that game, but I can't think of what it is right now. But yeah, I was really surprised to see the Broncos pull that one off. So
Regardless, great game. Vikings got their first win. Good for them. Who were your two teams again? I forget.
I know that I had the Chargers,
I
but
think
I
you went
can't.
2-0.
I think I did too. I can't remember who else I picked.
You had the Chargers and the Jags.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Hey, 2-0. This is my first 2-0 week. Looking to build off of it this week, but gambling wise this weekend it was so rough. The video from earlier this week, I lost every single pick that I suggested, so there's that. But in my defense, I also told everybody to fade all of my picks
that is
if you
true.
wanted to win.
That is
So
true. So this is what I ended up hitting. Like, bro, you know, you always end up placing like some bullshit. I had the Seahawks first half spread -1.5. That hit. I had, I got, I got absolutely killed on the Patrick Mahomes slide at the end of the game. I'm sure everyone
yeah,
did. Then I hit, and I sent you this. I boost 50% boosted it. Christian McCaffrey 80 yards, over 27.5 receiving yards. Christian McCaffrey to score 2+ touchdowns and him to score the first touchdown. So I hit
yeah,
that. And then I hit um a 5-leg parlay, the Niners -5.5 and the over, the Chargers, and then the Cowboys. And then I hit the 49ers -14.5 and the over at 43.5. If the Cardinals are an over machine, I bet
yeah.
they're over last week. I bet it again this week. They're gonna go out and score points. Like, I know people don't feel that way because they have Josh Dobbs, but like, they're gonna go out and do their thing and score points. I straight bet a Puka Nakua anytime touchdown scorer. He came through for me in the uh in the half. I had the Jags money line. I had the under in that game. I had the first half under. I had the Browns under, and then I had the first half under in the Browns game. It would have been a lock, but for some reason, Deshaun Watson just decided not to play
Yeah,
because
that was such bullshit. I was going to bet on them, and I'm glad I waited um until like the very last second because I would have taken them.
I just don't get it. I don't apparently, and it came out. The Browns are. I think Stefanski hates Watson like a lot. Like, he came out after that game to the media and was like, "Yeah, like, he went out in warmups. He was medically cleared to play, but he ultimately decided that he wasn't good to go."
Hmm.
So I don't know really why you would leak that. Like, I don't get the purpose of doing something like that other than like to make him look bad. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, but honestly, I'm gonna give my two teams, unless if you want to touch on any of your bets for the weekend.
I mean, pretty much the only things that I won were Eagles related, and I took Nicholas Morrow over 5.5 tackles, and he had a very good game for the Eagles. And then I had Devontae Smith over whatever his reception line was, and those two hit. But pretty much
Well,
other than that, it was rough for your boy.
it's all right. We'll have a bounce back week this week. But my two teams this week are the Jags and the Lions.
Fuck.
Are those your two teams?
No, I wasn't gonna take the Jags, but I wanted the Lions.
Yeah,
That's all right though.
I just like these teams this week, and I already bet the Jags money line actually today. It's +200, so just put 25 bucks on it. Like, I don't know. They've been out in London where they're gonna be there for 2.5 weeks. Like, they're used to it. Like, I think that them
They're
going out
comfortable.
and
Look,
doing their thing against the Falcons was like very telling. And then they can kind of settle down there, practice there for the entire week. They don't have to worry about travel or anything like that. I'm sure that they're cozied up over there. So yeah, I like their money line +200. I actually announced it in the group chat as a nuclear missile whale play. So like, I might double down on it. Honestly, I love that play for the week.
yeah, I agree with a lot of that. I think the Bills are riding super high, so I think this could be such a letdown situation for them. That's probably a game that I'm gonna stay away from, but I don't hate the Jags there. I mean, they needed a win last week, and like I said, the Bills are riding so high, and they deserve to be. They played bully football against the
Yeah.
Dolphins, so
Yeah, they ding. Their thing,
ugh,
but a thing with them though is like I know that they're gonna win more games this season. I'm not saying that, but still no Von Miller. We'll see how Von's 36 years old, I think. We'll see how he looks like when he gets back. I'm sure he'll be decent, but like he's not gonna be prime Von. And then Tre'Davious White goes down in the secondary. Their two safeties seem to not be able to really stay healthy. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're just an older team and they're just banged up. So yeah, great win against the Dolphins, but catching the Dolphins after scoring 70 points and you're playing at home on a 1 o'clock, like they better have won that game. Honestly, looking back at that whole situation, it's like they definitely should have won that game, and they did. So
yeah, I mean, everything pointed in the direction of the Bills, and I mean, they came out and, like I said, played bully football. I think that Josh Allen,
that was his first game ever with a perfect QBR rating. You heard that on Rusilla today?
I did. Yes, I did. Not a bad time to have that, especially after people were starting to kind of doubt them. I mean, I get that first week, like that first week loss was rough, and he deserves criticism for it.
Man,
and then they came out and smoked the Commanders and the Raiders. But yeah, he was doing his absolute thing this weekend, and that's what you need out of your star quarterback. You need him to step up in a big game, and he did just that. I mean, Stephon Diggs was also phenomenal.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he's definitely, he made my dudes of the week. That and the Moderna shot.
Yeah. What did Travis Kelce make it too? Oh no, that's Pfizer. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pfizer.
The Moderna shot. Yeah, sorry.
Why did the Moderna shot make it?
It's just a superior vax. I've gotten it 3 times. But what are your 2 teams for this week?
All right. I'm going to take the Commanders on Thursday night against the Bears.
Awful ball.
Why?
I love the Bears, dude.
I hate it. I legitimately hate all these games, and I don't want to pick a team that like I've already picked, and I haven't taken the Commanders, and you stole my Lions pick. Like all of these games that I'm looking through right now are such like all the teams that I want to pick, the team that they're playing just came off like a good game last week. And I just don't feel good about it. But yeah, I'm taking the Commanders, and I'm going to take... I really want to take the Lions. Dude, I have to take the Lions. I want them
to. All right, well, then I'm taking somebody else because I'm not scared. I'm going to take the Bears.
Okay. All right, so you got Jags and Bears?
Yeah. Dude, right. real quick. We got to address something because I saw your tweet like during the Packers game. You're like, when can we flex the Packers out of prime time? Like,
bro, I'm just also...
You're never going... Like, any game, like if you would have looked at the slate on Sunday, you'd be like, oh my God, like the Bears and the Bills and the Dolphins are going to be the best game on the slate. They got borderline boat raced and controlled the entire game. Like you're never, ever going to be able to predict which game is going to be the best on the slate because anybody can get hurt. Anything can happen. Any game can look like absolute shit. But with that being said, the only team as of right now who absolutely deserves to get flexed out of primetime is the Giants because they suck. Every other team, you really don't know how the game's gonna go. Because like I even thought, because in my head too, I was like, well, I don't want to watch the Jets in primetime, but that ended up being low key one of the best games of the entire day. So it's just hard to kind of gauge like what's going to be good besides the Giants. I can't look in Daniel Jones's eyes on national TV again. It literally makes me uncomfortable.
So, partially the reasoning that I tweeted that out was, one of my friends, Dev, is like the biggest Packers fan. And I was hoping that he would see it and get upset.
Fair.
I don't know if you watched this or not, Dev, but I'm just being a Packers hater because I bet on Thursday there was like an early win boost if whoever you bet on just goes up 7 at any point.
Yeah.
And I picked the Packers and they had that interception on the very first drive and had great field position and couldn't score.
Yeah, that was rough.
So that's like what started it.
Yeah,
me and that day.
Me and the Discord boys were on the Packers, and we were watching that game in Discord. And bro, it hurts when I saw that happen. We were like riding high. They got the first pick of the game. I was like, oh shit, bro. Like we're gonna be locked. And then they got fucking demolished, and then made it interesting in the second half. But fuck the Packers, dude. They need to get healthy. I want to, like, first off, fuck David Bakhtiari. I don't know what's wrong with you, and like, I've never seen anybody in my 35 years of life to like not be able to come back off of an ACL injury. Like, he's been hurt for literally 4 years. And I have absolutely no clue what's wrong with Jair Alexander. And I see a lot of people put Jair in their top 5 best corners in the league. You're not a top 5 corner in the league if you can't play at least 15 games. Like, there's guys out there that play every single week. You can't like have these skewed ass like stats because you play in every other game.
Yeah, I agree. I do have Christian Watson
So do I.
over touchdowns for the season, so that was good to see him get one first game back.
What's that number at?
It was 4.5.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, so 1 for 1, good start.
Great start.
Yeah, that game, they did make it interesting in the second half, but I mean, ultimately they just couldn't.
Damage was done.
Stop. Yeah, they just couldn't stop the Lions. But also, the Lions have Jahmyr Gibbs, and they just don't give him the ball, which I don't really understand.
Why would they? What game are you watching where you're like, man, they really need to feed Jahmyr Gibbs? Like, what game were you watching?
My point is they drafted him so early, and normally with guys like that, you try to incorporate them into the offense as much as possible, and they just don't do that.
It's 4 games into the season. He's a rookie, and
but
David
Robinson was another first-round draft pick, running back,
but that's completely different.
Tyler Algier was phenomenal for them last year running the football.
Everybody in the world agreed that Bijan was the best running back prospect since Saquon. So like, it wasn't a big.
I just want to see them move him into the offense more. Like, like I said, you don't draft a guy that early and not try to feed him more.
Listen, you believe that the Lions are,
and I don't even have Gibbs.
But you believe the Lions are going to go deep, right, this year?
Yeah, I think they'll go pretty deep.
So, pause. First, you want guy, bro. Like, I get what you're saying, but if anything, you want to keep that guy healthy. Like, bro, if David Montgomery is just gonna go out and get 28 carries and like absolutely bully everybody and like control the entire game, like, you have to do that. You could throw Jahmyr in to like do a little change of pace, but like, the Lions brand of football that they want to go out and play is very like they want to run the football. There's no secret about that. Like, obviously Goff slings the pill, but like, they are always looking to establish the run, and having somebody like Montgomery allows you to do that.
I fully agree with you. And I'm not taking anything away from David Montgomery because he's played really well this year, and I think he's going to continue to have a good year. I just want to see Jahmyr Gibbs get the ball a little bit more.
It's fair.
But yeah, I think the Lions are going to end up going pretty deep. Pause, but
yeah.
A non like game necessarily related thing, I guess. I mean, everyone wears cleats, but the point is,
I do not wear cleats.
I know you're wearing cleats right now.
Okay, go
ahead. So last week, AJ Brown was wearing lime green cleats in the first half. At halftime, the NFL made him change his cleats because it didn't go with whatever rules they have. And then this week he wore pink cleats with yellow Nike signs on them, and they looked so fucking sick. I need the NFL to just chill out with that, because I think it looks so cool when they do that. I think it looks cool when they have like the mouthpiece that doesn't match. And what's it matter? Like the NBA already did it, so these guys can wear whatever color sneakers they want, and it looks
Bro,
fucking
fuck the
sick.
NBA. The
What
NBA is the
fine,
worst league ever.
be that as it may, but it doesn't change the outcome of the game if these guys are wearing a different pair, like a different off-colored cleats.
Yeah,
Is
but
my point.
listen, I'm just doing this to be a dick because I'm bored. But
I
like,
know.
bro, you look at the direction that the NBA is heading. Like, you give a guy an inch and they take 10 miles. Like, dude, just keep the uniforms basic. Like, it's not a fact. I know that like you and Colton love to see whatever cleats Odell warm up in, and like look at it on House of Highlights, and you're like, oh, this is sick. And then he has like 2 catches, but like, I get it. Like, it is cool, but like, bro, whenever you're out in the field, just keep it simple. Like, me personally, I just don't care. So, like, I get it, like coming out in warm-ups, having your cleats on, like doing your thing, getting your Instagram pics, but like, if I were to be running a football team, which one day I'm going to be coaching a Pee-wee football team, my guys will literally have to wear black cleats or they're getting thrown the fuck off the team.
Me, you, and Miles are going to coach Trinity football, so
Yeah.
clear your schedule. But basically, you're going full like boomer take on me with just give everybody what one team wears all black and one team wears all white, and
Yes.
keep it like that.
Listen, and like, or like when the Eagles like wear all black, or it should just like, I don't need to see like a green uniform with like highlighted pink cleats. Like, just be normal. Like, why do you have to be that guy?
You can be that guy when you're putting up numbers like AJ Brown is.
He is, and I'm not saying I absolutely love AJ Brown. He's probably one of my, besides Reek, he's probably like my second favorite receiver in the league. So I'm definitely not saying that. I'm just saying like using that, ever putting the NBA into anything about talking about anything. The NBA is the worst run organization ever. They've literally ran that shit into the fucking ground. So just, if you're ever gonna say that, don't say that. Don't bring up the NBA. But go ahead.
All right, another thing. I never realized this, but Zach Moss, the running back for the Colts, is Santana Moss's cousin.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wait, hold on. No, I'm not gonna do it. I have a Jets Santana Moss jersey in my closet. I was gonna throw it on.
You should have had it. I could have texted you about this prior, and you could have had it on.
Go ahead, though. My bad.
Also, I just want to go back to one other thing about the Eagles game. I don't understand why the Commanders didn't go for 2 at the very end instead of tying.
Yeah. Go for the win.
Yeah, you came off the bus tied. You were a 9-point underdog playing on the road, and you had a chance to steal a game, and you didn't do it. So
stupid.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, I have some. It's not football related in any way, shape, or form. But have you been paying attention to the NBA media days at all?
Not necessarily like what people are saying outside of the Lakers, but I do see all the pictures, and I mean, it does look sick when they have whatever sneakers on that they want for media day. So go ahead and continue to roast me for that. But
no.
Continue.
No, I just think that like the idea of the NBA is like cool as fuck, but like nobody cares about like the games, and it's even down to like where the media like is asking nothing about the upcoming season, and they're just like asking the star players like, are you playing in next year's Olympics?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like, I did see some of that.
Which I get it, like the Olympics are cool, but like, bro, there's an entire like, and this is a whole different conversation, but how the NBA regular season is the worst regular season in sports. Like, and then it starts like, as dumb as it sounds, like it starts like right here where it's like, okay, media day is starting up, and every single question that's being asked is like, oh, I heard LeBron is recruiting everybody to go play in next year's Olympics. It's like, we have an entire season ahead of us right now. And like, I saw De'Aaron Fox. I really liked this answer. It kind of went viral on Twitter. He was like, with all due respect, I'm trying to say this in like a really like nice way. I do not give a shit about next year's Olympics, like at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that question could just wait until next year.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I agree. I didn't see anybody from the Lakers doing that. Like I said, I didn't really see a ton of like actual media day questions and stuff. Um, but a lot of the Lakers guys were just guys and girl were just asking just like thoughts about the upcoming season. I thought they did a good job, like trying to mix in like a fun question here and there, but nothing about the Olympics. But it
How'd you
was
feel
also more.
about? Go ahead.
I was gonna say it was also just because the Lakers got a couple new guys, so it was more so about how do you think you're going to be able to fit into this team? Like, what are your expectations for yourself for this upcoming season? Stuff like that.
What'd you think about the Dame to Milwaukee trade?
I think the Bucks needed to do that. Um, it brings them an absolute beast on offense that you're not going to be able to get from Drew Holiday, but you're also not going to be able to get the defense that Drew Holiday brings you with Damian Lillard. But I also think that the Bucks made that decision because they wanted to keep Giannis around for a little bit longer
Keep them
and going
happy.
out. Going especially after what was he on a podcast or like an Instagram
Yeah,
live or
he was
something?
like, yeah, he pretty much said like he wasn't happy with like how the new ownership was like essentially like cheaping out.
Yeah, and I think he said something along the lines of like he's going to be open to looking at stuff at the end of the year, like other teams.
Yeah,
Um,
he's up in 2 years, right?
2 years, something whenever his contract is up is
Yeah,
what is the main point of that. But yeah, I think that was a good move. I think him and Dame together are going to be an absolute problem.
yeah, it'd be cool. And bro, honestly, like it's a I think this is like a massive W for the NBA to like have Dame ask out specifically, be like, I want to go to the Heat. The Heat not being able to put a package together to get it done, and then Milwaukee coming in and grabbing him. Like, I love to see that. That's the type of shit that makes me like more excited for the season, where it's like, thank God a player finally didn't get their way. And look at the situation that Dame's in. He actually has a legitimate shot at winning a championship.
Yeah, and now Drew Holiday's on
The
the
Celtics.
Celtics, and that is a problem.
Yeah, they're gonna be
They're gonna
nasty.
they're gonna be tough. I think if Porzingis stays healthy, I think they're probably. I mean, yeah, I think they're probably the best team in the East.
We should go
I
to
think they're
some
better. I
basketball
think
games
they're
this year.
better than the Bucks as like a full roster, but Dame um and Giannis are probably like. I don't want to be disrespectful to Jamal Murray and Jokic because they played insane during the playoffs,
Yeah.
but I think that the Dame Giannis duo is like the best duo in the
Yeah,
NBA,
it'd be cool.
or at least it could be. It could
It
be.
could
We'll
be.
see.
Listen, we might need to go to some basketball games this year if you're down. I want to
I would
go.
love to.
I want to go and watch some live basketball, but yeah.
Yeah,
Know that we don't usually talk basketball, but it's kind of media day starting back up and the MLB starting back up, and there's just a shit ton there's a bunch of stuff going on, so I'm sure that we're going to touch on some other shit every once in a while. But do you have anything else that you want to talk about from the weekend? I know that you were drunk as fuck, like rambling and texting me about something. Like I was actually like low key worried about you. But what was that about?
I don't even remember.
I think you like didn't like what you were seeing about something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm not commenting on that.
Listen. All I have to say is I get where you were coming from. What we're referring to is Adam went out to the Colorado game and he made an announcement that he was officially bought in on Caleb Williams, and an
Yeah,
NFL
that was rough.
executive told him that he's the best prospect. Like, bro, we've known this. If you pay a lick of attention, like we've known this for 2 years. Like Adam coming out in the beginning of the season saying like JJ McCarthy is like a better prospect than Caleb Williams was a clown take. Everybody knows it's clown take. He did it for engagement, which is fine. But like even like right now, like it's not every person who like writes about the NFL, prospecting in the NFL, anything for the last 2 years. It's like, okay, all these guys are really great, but when Caleb Williams comes out, like Caleb Williams is that guy. And if you watched him last year, if you watched him the year before at Oklahoma, and if you've watched anything this season, there is an absolutely undeniable cause that he is like, I think Luck is probably the best prospect at quarterback in the last like 10 years, like coming out. I think he's shoulders above Andrew Luck. And like, I mean, we have some boys that like scout in the NFL and they pretty much have said all the same things.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer, but also we just want to make sure that you're held accountable for some of these takes, Adam.
Yeah. He know, bro. I'm on his ass, bro. Trust me.
I will give him credit. The video that he did post
Sick.
was
So
fire.
sick.
Yeah,
That was the cool, like,
that was sick.
I've seen some cool shit come out of like the Colorado games, but his guy Thomas, which seems like a great dude, he crushed
He's
it
nasty
with
the camera. He
yeah,
did a good job.
he crushed that video. And that video was, I was like hype when I saw, like, it wasn't his most liked video because for some reason people like when Adam talks about like fucking who played in movies as a college quarterback or some shit more than like an actual cool video, but whatever. But like that video is sick as fuck.
Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, we'll give you your props, but we just want to make sure that you're held accountable for some of these takes.
I texted Adam today and I said, dude, whenever you're ready to come on the show and argue, like, let me know.
You're more than welcome. I'll have some notes ready for you.
Do you have anything else that you want to touch on from the weekend, or are you good?
No, I think I'm all right. I'm ready to. I think tomorrow is the start of like 55 days in a row with football on, so that's pretty cool.
Welcome back.
Even though the games tomorrow are just like random college games, but it's
Dude,
better than
I've been watching so much
nothing.
college football, bro. Like,
yeah,
I think I just have like the itch for it, but
yeah. Tomorrow it's Jacksonville State versus Middle Tennessee, and then Florida International versus New Mexico State.
So the over
at both games, yeah.
So
the combined over for the day. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'd rather have football every day than football not every day. So
true. It's good.
All right. What do we got here? Week 5.
Yeah, week 5. Let's dive in. Fuck it.
All right. Bears Commanders. Let me just actually pull up I have the schedule, but I don't have the odds up. Oh, Commanders -6. Thursday night versus the Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Honestly, like whatever way that you think this game's going to go, I completely respect it. I don't really have I picked the Bears this week, but it's out of spite.
Yeah.
I just think that it's one of those games that like on Thursday night, the games suck every week. So I think 6.5 points is a ton. If I'm leaning aside, which like I said, I'm not betting this game at all, probably. I probably will when it comes time. I would probably lean the Bears like plus 6.5. Just because 6 points is like a ton on a Thursday night game.
Yeah, I just think that the Commanders looked very good on offense, and the Bears just can't tackle or stop a soul on defense. And I think the Commanders' defense is all right.
Yeah. No, they are. They have a great D-line, all-time great D-line. Those guys are dogs.
Yeah, but like you said, these Thursday night games have just been absolute ass. So I'm not really too invested in this. I will say my buddy Zach going to the game, Commanders season ticket holder. So enjoy. In London, Sunday morning, 9:30 again. I will say it was nice waking up Sunday morning to football on at 9:30. Bro, how did you like the Toy Story stream?
Bro, me and Colt, me and him were up bright and early Sunday morning in Discord watching the Toy Story stream. Like, honestly, in reality, like the Toy Story stream is like a great idea. It's gonna get better. I don't know how the fuck they were getting it in live time. Like
insane.
like accurate too. Like they were like juking and shit. I'm like, well, that's pretty fire. But honestly, like I wish there was games on that early every week.
Yeah, I really did enjoy it actually. The only negative that I would have for that is I watch the Arsenal and they usually play like right at 9:30 to 11 somewhere on Sundays. So I guess more sports is better, but it's harder to pay attention to one game if there's multiple on. So that would be my only like downside. But the Toy Story stream was fire. It reminded me of like it actually reminded me just of a video game. It looked that like good and that
Yeah,
on time with the actual game. It's a great way to get your little kids into football.
definitely.
So yeah, thought it was cool. Uh, all right, we got the Jags, Bills. Jags were they home last week and then they're technically away this week?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so
they're in fucking London, so whatever that means.
right, but somebody has to be home and somebody has to be away.
Fair. They're both away,
So
but go ahead.
yeah, so
Jags are the resident team right now. So it might
why are you
say
yelling?
they might say that they're away, but if anything, like this is a home game for the Jags. There was a guy literally dressed up as a Jaguar at the game. Like he was a full ass Jaguar, like his whole head was painted.
Dude,
Like I
if
know
you're a
you
Jags
saw
fan,
it.
if you're a Jags fan, you might as well just call this your vacation and just stay in London for like 2 weeks,
That'd
go
be
to
so
both
cool.
games, soak it up. Yeah, that would be badass.
That'd be so
Um,
cool.
yeah. But yeah, Bills are 5.5-point favorites.
Oh my god. I feel like that's incredibly too much. Like I said, I already bet. I saw that. I don't know why I reacted like that, but I
Oh
forgot.
my gosh.
5.5 points for a team that is going overseas and playing at 9:30 in the morning when a team has already been there for an entire week. Like plus 5.5 is the move. Do you have the over under on that game?
48.5. Which
I
I
don't know.
like.
I cashed on the under last week.
The Lunder.
The Lunder. I
Yeah.
would lean towards the over in this game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the Falcons have enough on offense to like meet their side of that over from last week. So I totally understand taking the under there. I think the Bills definitely have that offensive firepower. And I think the Jags are going to score. I mean, Bills are down a corner, but I still like the Bills in this one. I think
You
it's
like them?
close.
You like them
I like
5.5,
um
or do you like them to just win outright?
I mean I think they end up winning outright, but I do think it is going to be a closer game. I could see this being like a
Yeah.
field goal game actually. So I mean, I think the number, like you said, a team traveling across the seas and having to play early as hell um feels like it never really bodes well, and the Jags have been there already, so like
Yeah,
they're nestled in over there.
like 2.5 weeks. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I Bills, I think it's Bills outright, but I think the 5.5 for the Jags is probably the better and the over.
I like that. Me too.
All right, 1 o'clock, Giants, Dolphins, Dolphins minus 11, to the absolute moon.
Man, honestly, at this point in my life right now, like I feel like something's got to give for the Giants. Like,
I don't.
and I know that it might sound insane, but like 11.5 points is so many. And maybe if Jalen Phillips isn't playing again this week or something like that, like they can keep it close. This is definitely a stay away game for me because if I watch him get sacked 15 times on Sunday morning, I'm just gonna be like, wow, like that was dumb as hell. Why did I bet the Giants? But I don't know. I would like to see, like, I don't love the Giants, but I would like to see something break for them. They just look so bad.
Yeah, I don't think Saquon's going to be playing either. I think the Dolphins got a piece of humble pie this past weekend, and I think they're just going to come out and try to beat the fuck out of the Giants.
You think they boat
That
race? Is this boat
the
race territory?
this might be boat race territory.
Okay. I'm writing that down.
I let you
I
convince
just wrote
me. I let you convince me with the Patriots last week, and they just got embarrassed.
they got. I mean, they got boat raced.
And I think we're just seeing a legitimately bad team.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
I
they're
think the
the.
Patriots are legitimately bad, and you, like I said, you convinced me. I think the Giants are legitimately
I
bad,
think the
and
Giants
I'm
are
not
the.
letting you convince me.
I think the Giants are the worst team in the league. I do.
Yeah, what do they do? Like, they gave Daniel Jones 45 million a year.
Yeah, they're fucked. I don't think there's really anything
I saw
they
a
can
tweet
do.
today um, saying that when Ben McAdoo, who was the head coach of the Giants, was like scouting Daniel
Yeah,
Jones, he
yeah,
had him as like a fifth or seventh round pick, something
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. He was. Man, I don't know. I listen. We could do a whole episode on the Giants. I'm happy that Saquon didn't sign a long term deal there, and I hope that he can. I like Saquon a ton. Like he's awesome. I've hung out with him a few times. Great dude. Like I just want him. I know that he's not going to get the exact money that he wants, but I want to see Saquon behind a real offensive line, like kind of like how Christian McCaffrey is. Like I'm not saying Saquon's as good as Christian McCaffrey, but like I just want to see him in a situation where he can like thrive. Like and they have like balance because if they can thrive, if he could thrive and has balance, like bro, he's gonna snap. Like I don't know. It's just that's like a homer pick, obviously, but you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, I would actually like to see him as a Baltimore Raven. I think he would look sick in those uniforms, either them or like I know this is extremely not going to happen, but I think he would look sick in a Falcons uniform too. But like
Yeah,
obviously they don't need a running back. The Ravens actually need a running back, so
so
I
bad.
don't think that's out of the question at the end of the year. It just depends on how they want to spend their money. But yeah, I think he would look sick there. Um, yeah, I think the Dolphins just beat the fuck out of them. So,
Good call.
um, yeah, there's that. Next we've got Saints at New England.
Man, this
As
is
of
unwatchable.
another bad game. Patriots are -1.5. Over under is 40.
Under. We can move
Yeah,
on.
it's Jameis Winston, right?
I don't know. Derek Carr played last week. He looked terrible. He threw the ball to Alvin Kamara 55 times.
For 3 yards.
I'm taking the under in this game, and we can just keep going.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God, because I don't really want to talk about that game too much either. Um, Panthers at Lions. Lions -9.5.
Like,
I think
I
this is a Lions cover game.
yeah, I don't want to say
I
that
haven't seen anything with the Panthers that has made me say, yeah. I mean, they were okay last week, but the Vikings also suck ass.
they always are playing in these games, and they're always liable for a backdoor cover for whatever reason. I don't know how
True.
they get in these situations because they're literally they have no offensive line. They're missing a tackle. They're missing two tackles. They don't have any weapons on offense. If a 34-year-old white wide receiver is your best weapon, you are in serious trouble. Miles Sanders, the Eagles clearly know he sucks. He's
It's
just not
rough.
very good, and he's hurt already. Whatever. Lost JC Horn. Shaq Thompson broke his fucking leg.
They're just
You're
down so bad.
you're from
And they don't
hell.
even have a pick. They don't even have their first round pick.
Yeah, you're from hell for them. I feel bad for Bryce Young. Especially like now you got to hear everybody be like, oh, like he's a bust, he's too small, blah blah blah, whatever. The verdict's not out on him. That team is having the absolute year from hell. There's just no debating it. So, I don't think this is boat race territory. Maybe the over in this game. I like betting the over in Lions games.
I think you're going to have to get a lot out of the Lions for this over.
What's it
I
at?
mean, it's 44.5, but I think this Lions defense has looked better and better every week. And this Panthers offense is just depleted and doesn't really have much to work with. So, I mean, you're going to need probably, let's see what the Lions team total is.
Like, can we get 31-17? Like, probably.
But see, 31-17, that leads me with the Lions cover, which I think is what we're going to end up seeing. All right. Can I get the fucking team total here? Holy hell. All right. Well, it's great podcasting. Okay, here we go. Lions over 27.5. That's 27.5 is their team total.
So we're right there. If we hit the over on their team total, like, I don't know. Like you said, who knows, bro? This game's probably not going to be too great to watch. I just hope Amon-Ra snaps.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right, we got a division matchup. Ravens Steelers in Pittsburgh. Ravens are 4.5 favorites. Sorry, over under 38.5.
Yeah, I think probably you should try to get on this Ravens number before it gets to like 6, because I know that Kenny Pickett's out. I don't know what Mike Tomlin's doing. I don't know if he's trying to like coach himself out of a job this year by like
Matt Canada around.
I don't know if like Matt Canada has like dirt on him or something. Like, I don't get it. I haven't understood. Like, I saw today, like he was like, there's definitely going to be changes made. And then they asked about Matt Canada and he's like, oh, like, why would we get rid of him? It's like, well, you guys
can't score the football.
Yeah, you guys can't score touchdowns. Like I said, probably the Ravens -4.5. I don't feel any way about the over under. I think that this line probably closes close to a touchdown.
My only thing with this is that the Steelers always play tough at home, especially against these in division teams. I don't think that Steelers offense is obviously any good, but this feels like such a Steelers defense shows up, has forces 2 turnovers. If Mitch Trubisky plays, feels like he does maybe just enough, like hands the ball off to Najee and Najee somehow scores. I will never bet Najee Harris touchdown, but
listen, take the Steelers then, dude.
I think I kind of like the Steelers here. Everything is pointing towards the Ravens, and I feel like this is just one of those sneaky games that the Steelers end up pulling off. So I'm going to take the Steelers points.
I'm taking Ravens, and I'm going to write down Tomlin first coach fired with a question mark.
It's not going to be, it can't be him. It's going to be Brandon Staley first.
Dude, no way. It's gonna be McDaniels. That guy is a clown.
Oh yeah, you're right. It will.
But go ahead. Let's go to the next game.
Texans at Falcons. Falcons -2. Over unders 41. What do you like here?
I like the under in this game, and I like the Falcons to win. Listen, I know that. Listen, everybody. Texans, so happy for them. CJ Stroud, great. They made the right pick. Will Anderson looks great. Made the right pick. I just think people are going to be flying really high on this Texans team. They can throw the ball very well. What the Falcons are actually really great at doing is stopping deep passes. So, I like the Falcons defense to do enough to slow down the Texans, and I think the Falcons can control this game. So I like the under, and I like the Falcons in this game. But I understand why people like the Texans. I just think they are still the Texans. They're missing a lot of people still, and people are probably a little too high on them.
I am probably one of those people that is too high on them. I think that CJ Stroud has looked great. I think he looked really, really good against a very good Steelers defense.
Bro, I just think that the Steelers defense notion is like super overblown when your number one corner is Patrick Peterson. Like
Oh, for some reason go
I
ahead. Sorry,
get
sorry.
that they make plays and like do their thing. They have TJ Watt, amazing player.
Minka's very good, probably the best safety in the NFL. But I think what
What's
they
the
need to
last,
do is
what's the last thing you heard me say?
Minka.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. I cut out.
I was gonna say I agree with you about Minka being. I said I think he's the best safety probably in the NFL. I do think they need to figure it out at corner. They should give Joey Porter Jr. a chance. I think Levi Wallace is not good. I don't think Patrick Peterson's good either, but um, somehow their defense, I still think the defense is good, even though they really can't cover anybody, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but they still somehow force turnovers and are able to keep that piss poor offense in the game. Obviously, last week, not the case, but I I think I I don't know. I think we were talking about the Texans game. Yeah, I think I'm riding high on the Texans. And for that reason, I'm going to take the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a good. I think that's a really a good move, bro. Like, I get the Texans. I think that it's amazing what they're doing, and I love what they're doing. The reason why we got on the Steelers is because I said that they were a little bit an overblown defense with a few names, and the Texans kind of exploited that last week. I think D'Amico Ryans is going to be an amazing head coach in the league. I just think that like at a point like unless if CJ Stroud is just randomly the best prospect to ever play quarterback, like he's going to go through some growing pains. And like I said, I actually really like this Falcons defense. Like they're like actually like a tough group. They don't get as many sacks as I would like them to get, but bro, I mean the Jesse Bates signing is an absolute home run. That guy's a game wrecker and is flying all around the field. Yeah, I like the Falcons in this game.
Yeah, I think Jesse Bates is a dog. Ultimately, what this game is going to come down to is
Ritter.
Desmond Ritter going to throw 2 interceptions or not.
Bro, he is so bro. I watched the game with Cole, and you know that he's a big Falcons fan.
Yeah.
Dude, like I literally like felt bad for him, honestly. Like he was just like going through it.
Do you think the biggest regret from this offseason is the Falcons not trying to get Lamar Jackson?
Don't understand why.
I feel like it has to be that. If they had Lamar Jackson, the Falcons would be disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it even makes sense. Excuse me, I just burped. I'll edit that out. It even makes sense in like the Arthur Smith offense to have Lamar. Like he would fit so well with those players and he'd be able to get Kyle Pitts going because he can get Mark Andrews going. And listen, honestly, we shouldn't even talk about this. It's whatever. It's because in the thought of it, it's like, holy fuck, they'd be the best team ever. But that's not what happened. I could see this being like a Justin Fields situation or like one of the quarterbacks who like aren't really working out to go to the Falcons in this upcoming offseason.
I honestly wouldn't hate to see Justin Fields in this offense because they can actually run the ball and they actually have guys who can throw it or he can throw it to, and the defense is decent. So that might not be the worst spot for him to go if the Bears are like, we're done here. We're taking Caleb Williams. Yeah,
they're done. I mean, if you got if the Bears have the top 2 picks, which it's looking like they're going to, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Unless if Justin Fields somehow turns into an MVP candidate at some point this season, which we can probably both sit here and agree that that's not going to happen. They are probably going to get rid of him, but we can go to we can move on.
Yeah, I agree. Next we have the Titans at Indianapolis. Colts are a 1-point favorite, over under 42.5.
Man, I'll let you know one thing: the Titans absolutely boat raced the Bengals last week, and
They did.
we should have been all over that. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I don't know if there's actually any stats that back this up, but it feels like every time the Titans play at home as an underdog, they just come out and just dominate. And that's what happened last week.
What's the
If
over
you're the
under?
Bengals, 42.5.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying about the Bengals?
If you're the Bengals, I think you just have to sit Joe Burrow for a few weeks and let him get healthy.
Yeah,
I,
I
I
heard
think
somebody.
I think they messed up big time not letting him or not just telling him to sit out for a couple weeks and get right because now they have to play him now because they've been losing these games and now they're in a lose-lose scenario where they've lost these games and their star quarterback isn't healthy. So
I completely agree with you on that notion for sure. Um, T. Higgins is also hurt.
T.
Their
Higgins is out.
bye, their bye is in week 7. Andrew
The
told,
Bengals.
yeah, the Bengals. Andrew told me that that they play the Cardinals this week, and
Yeah.
Andrew texted me and said, "I'd be shocked if Joe Burrow played against us." So I don't know, and like I said, I don't know what he knows, but it's sounding like okay, you sit him against the Cardinals, you sit him against the Seahawks. They have their bye week, and then you come back against San Fran, Buffalo, Houston. That's
You got to win 2 out of 3.
that San Fran and that Buffalo stretch, like you if you have a shot, which they still do have a shot to make the playoffs this year if they can turn the season around. But if you just punt the next 2 games and go into your bye week, get completely healthy. Hey guys, let's start out the first half of the season. Joe Burrow's calf's fucked up. T. Higgins, get your mind right. Get those ribs right. Like Jamar Chase, stop bitching. You're gonna get your targets. Like we're gonna be okay. Like, but I just think that, like you said, they need to make that decision like now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But we can get to the Bengals after this. Titans, Colts.
Man, I don't know. Colts or I don't know. The over.
I think I love even though the Colts lost last week, I still loved seeing what Anthony Richardson did. He made
Yeah, he's
some
so good.
nasty throws.
Yeah.
And I think for whatever reason they look so much better at home. So I don't even know if that's accurate, but I'm gonna take the Colts here.
Real quick, and then we can move on. Jonathan Taylor, I do not foresee him coming back this season. I know that he got activated off the PUP list. I don't think that means anything. That just means they have a 21-day window to like
Work something out.
to acclimate him back into the starting lineup. I I just don't I haven't heard anything. The only thing that I've heard is that he still doesn't want to play for the Colts. So I'm gonna go off that report, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So like you
I
said,
mean the Colts are tied for first in that division, and I understand why he wouldn't want to play for them because they're not going to pay him, but that situation could be a lot worse. I mean, they're in a weak division and they're already 2-2. I'm sure they probably didn't think that that's where they'd be at. And I think Shane Steichen is a very good head coach, and I think Jonathan Taylor would have a very good season still if he came back and played. And I think that Colts team would have a pretty decent chance if they keep looking like this. But ultimately, that's up to him. I get why he doesn't want to do it. He wants his money. And they don't want to give it to him. But I don't know. I don't know where else he would go. Like a lot of people were rumoring him to like the Dolphins, but it looks like the Dolphins have two pretty good running backs back there that I don't foresee them wanting to pay another running back. but that's
Yeah, I
just
don't
me.
know. I don't know. Weird situation, but like,
Yeah.
let's go on to the Cincy game.
Yeah. Cincinnati at Arizona. Cardinals are a 3-point underdog. Over unders 44.5.
It's insane. The Cardinals are insane.
Even before you told me about what Andrew texted you, I love the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're insane, dude. I mean, honestly, the one thing that we can take away from this offseason is that both Eagles coordinators that got hired at their respective organizations this offseason are the real deal. I mean, they're good coaches. They're amazing coaches.
That's why
Everybody
the
was
Eagles look so good
everybody
last
was
year.
everybody was making fun of not Steichen. Who was the guy that the Cardinals hired? His name is why are hearts coming out of your fucking head?
I don't know. That's crazy.
Why did that just happen?
I have no idea. It was Shane Steichen.
And Jonathan, bro, what the
Jonathan
fuck
Gannon.
was that?
It happened again.
Anyway, Jonathan Gannon, I'm shook right
Yeah,
now.
Gannon.
Everybody's making fun of Gannon at the beginning of the season because he's like a little like corny, but like do you have a fire?
Yeah.
Like, do you have a fire in your gut? Like that shit fires me up. Like thinking about it right now. Like, I mean, those guys just clearly love to play for him. Like they always go out every single week and play really fucking hard. They're a really good football team. I love those guys, and I love watching them every single week. And I think the under probably is in play for this game, to be completely honest. But man, it's Josh Dobbs season, bro. And like even like Josh Dobbs' fantasy projection this week is like 24 points.
Yeah,
Like
I might have to pick him up because my quarterback's a bit trash.
like it's crazy. So yeah, I mean, I like the Cardinals in this game. I don't force from per sources or just rumors, I guess, is that Joe Burrow is not going to be playing, and we can pretty much guarantee that T. Higgins is not going to play either. So
Yeah, I don't think he is.
do what you want with that information.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals. Gannon is similar to Nick Sirianni in terms of being kind of corny, doing some things that unless you love the guy, you're going to hate on it. And admittedly, I did that. And the same exact things happened to Nick Sirianni. But I mean, it just goes to show that players love playing for both of those guys, regardless of how corny or cheesy they can be. And obviously, the Cardinals 1-3, but they've been in every game.
Every game.
They just go out and they play man football, but sometimes it just doesn't work. They just don't have the talent. They just don't have the talent that the teams that they've played against have. And that's not necessarily their fault.
Yeah.
Like they're in a spot to get better, but there's not a whole lot they can do about it this year.
Yeah, and bro, their rookies are playing out of their minds.
Yeah.
I really like where this team's going. I'm excited to see Kyler back. I love Kyler. I love watching him play. Like this is just going to be a fun team for a long time.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, if they end up getting like the third pick, they could end up having Marvin Harrison Jr. if it goes Caleb Williams. And if who has the Bears have the Texans pick? Who has the Texans pick?
No, the Bears have
Cardinals.
the Panthers pick.
Yeah, the Bears actually might get 1 and 2.
Yeah, the Bears are going to get 1 and 2, which is fine. But like, I mean, I said this weeks ago, like the Cardinals had absolutely no intention of getting rid of Kyler. So they're in a position exactly where they want to be. Like you still have 2 first round picks that are probably going to be within the top 10, and you have your main guy, and they have a million other picks in the second round and the middle rounds, and they're going to be able to do a lot with that. And I also think that they're a sneaky free agent destination because Scottsdale, Arizona is the best place in America.
So actually, as of right now, the draft order goes Chicago, Las Vegas, Denver, Minnesota, Jets, Pats, Bengals, Arizona at 9, and then Arizona again at 13. They might want to stop winning.
I don't really think that they want to stop winning. I'm gonna be completely
I don't think so
honest.
either. They play
Yeah.
too hard to
And
not
and
want to
bro,
win.
you're gonna see the Cardinals drop. They might go out this week and drop a game against the Bengals and like be in a bad situation. Like this team is playing over expectation, but they are going to continue to lose games. But they're fun to bet every single week. They're a good story.
Yeah, like they've got the Bengals at Rams, at Seahawks, Ravens, Browns, Falcons, Texans. I mean, they'll probably lose
All of those
probably
games.
5 of those 6.
Lose all of those.
5 of those 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're definitely fun to bet against, though, or to
Yeah.
bet on. Yeah, I'm gonna take them. I'll probably have them in a teaser with. I don't know who else yet.
The Dolphins.
Yeah, that might be that. It might be that game. But yeah, I like them either way. Next, Eagles at Los Angeles Rams. Rams are 4-point underdogs. Over unders 50.5.
Holy shit. I mean, this is an Eagles home game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the Eagles win outright. I think that it could be closer than what people expect, or Matt Stafford might not have a back after this game. I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. It could easily kind of come down to the wire where we see Matt Stafford throw for like 300 yards plus, or the Eagles could have 10 sacks.
Yeah, I do think that this is an interesting game though, because I know that they get Cooper Kupp back. I want to kind of see how they use Puka and Kupp together. I think that that is like low key going to be a super underrated receiving duo for the remainder of the season. They might be low key unstoppable on offense, honestly. With those two guys, and they got a good deep threat. Like I don't know, I like I like the Rams offense. I like the over in this game a lot, actually.
Yeah, I do as well. I think the Rams are going to score. I think the Eagles are going to score, but I think the Eagles are going to cover 4 here. I just don't. I don't think the Rams are really going to be able to stop them.
Yeah, I think honestly, like I'm not gonna bet it, but this could be a sneaky Eagles loss.
See, I think that sneaky Eagles loss probably doesn't come until who do they have? I think that game at Washington October 29th is going to be another loss. Like that's an easy look ahead. That's a foreseeable like look ahead game because they got Dallas the next week and they'd be coming off of playing the Dolphins. So I think they could end up losing that game. I think they go in and take care of business this game. So yeah, I like the Eagles -4. All right. I do. Well, let me see here. So they've got 2 405 games and 2 425 games.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, those were I already gave you to the 405 games. 425. It's fine. Chiefs at Vikings. Chiefs -5, over under 53.
Man, I just don't have a feeling on this game. I hate the Chiefs, bro. They're my least favorite team in modern football history. Like, I just absolutely hate watching them every single week. And then I never bet on them. And then the one week I bet on them, I would have to watch Patrick Mahomes slide on the 2-yard line. Like, I hate the Chiefs so much. I hate Taylor Swift. I hate fucking the Vax boy, Kelsey. I just absolutely despise this team, but they're probably going to win, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm so sick of Taylor Swift. those people are just unbearable. But yeah, they probably end up winning this game.
Who do
The
they play?
Vikings are just
Sorry,
not
I
good.
just
They
heard.
play
Yeah,
you got too
I just
fired up.
I just heard the Chiefs, and I just like saw, like I
Red.
closed my eyes for a second, and I watched Patrick Mahomes slide on the 2-yard line again, and what got extremely heated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on. Or is it at Kansas City or at?
No, it's at Minnesota.
I like Minnesota in an upset here.
They finally got a win. That was a gritty win too.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually place their money line tonight. What's their money line at?
Plus 185.
Yeah, I like them a lot to win this week. Fuck the Chiefs. That's a hate. That's a hate. That's a hate bet.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay away from this game. I think that I would take the under though. I'm not gonna pick a line. I mean, I think the Chiefs win, but I don't like this number a whole lot, particularly. Next we got this next game is a game that you look at and are like, why would we want to watch this? But it ends up being another good game. It's the Jets and the Broncos. It's in Denver. Denver's 2-point favorite. Over unders 43.
Man. Yeah, I really like the Broncos in this game, I think. I mean, bro, I don't think we overthink it. Like,
I don't think so either.
I just don't think Zach Wilson's very good. And I think Russ has been cooking all season. I think that they can do enough on the offensive side of the football to get it done. And I think the Jets' weak defense can kind of like hold them up. What I do want to see though is Dalvin Cook's washed, but I want to see
rough.
I want to see Breece Hall have a really, really great game. That's all I'm asking for. I want to see Breece Hall have a really, really good game on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with the Broncos. I mean, we've sat here and said this how many times, but Zach Wilson just doesn't have it. And I think last week was like the biggest anomaly we could have gotten. If he goes out there and plays like he did on Sunday, like I'll do some crazy shit. Like I'll eat my foot or something, like whatever it takes, like you can stamp that. But I think the Broncos win this football game. I would also agree with you. I like to see Breece Hall like actually get the rock.
Yeah.
It should be the other way around. Like Breece Hall should be getting the more of the touches, but for some reason, like
it's Michael Carter.
It's just ridiculous.
For some reason, it's not Dalvin and it's not Breece Hall. It's Michael Carter. But whatever.
Like the smallest guy, like Darren, like he's Darren Sproles size.
Yeah.
No offense.
Why'd you look at me like that? Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I think we just. I don't think we overthink this, and I think we just go Broncos here.
I'm gonna get a Danger Witch this weekend.
What is on that?
I don't know. Go ahead, though. Sorry.
Jeez.
Danger Witch.
That's like not even a clever name. That's fucking terrible.
I love Russ. Go ahead. I'm back on the Russ train.
Wait, so everybody says like let Russ cook, but they just haven't put out a cookbook for him yet.
Yeah, he's going to probably. I like her, bro. I'm back.
The Mr. Impossible cookbook,
bro. I'm literally all in back on Russ. Like Mr. Impossible, Wait, it's not.
Is that what it is?
No,
what is it?
Mr.
Unlimited from Shark Tank. Mr. Unlimited.
Yes, bro, Mr. Unlimited. Mr.
Cookbook.
Unlimited is back, and I love him. Like I'm just like bought back in on him. Like he's the best. But let's go to the next.
If this somehow makes its way to him, we want our royalties on the Mr. Unlimited cookbook
for sure.
All right, Sunday night game. We've got Cowboys at 49ers.
Niners
wow. Minus 3.5. Yeah. Kind of a good game.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Brock Purdy literally have a bad game yet. I want to see him have a bad game.
So badly. just so everybody just stops sucking the 49ers. Although Christian McCaffrey deserves it. He's a good guy and he's a baller.
Man, everything in my heart wants me to take the Cowboys here.
I physically can't do that.
So I'm going to, because I think Purdy has his first bad game. I think that this defense does their thing. I think Mike is going to be completely fine and healthy.
Yeah.
I think that they do enough to kind of disrupt them on offense, even though they have an absolute fuck ton of offensive weapons. But like I said, at this point in the season, these teams who don't have a loss yet, they're going to lose soon. So I think this is probably a good opportunity for the 49ers to catch their first L. Is it at Dallas?
No, it's at San Fran.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys money line.
For some reason, I feel like we're gonna get a Brock Purdy bad game against like a team that he shouldn't have a bad game against. I don't think it's gonna be this week. I would like to say that the Cowboys need to figure out how to get Tony Pollard the ball more and in better situations.
He has the most touches in the league. He touches the ball
better situations.
The ball more than anybody in the league. So
not more than me.
I mean, I get what you're saying. They give him a ton of touches, though. What I do want to see them get figured out is I want to see Dak sling the pill. So,
well, he's not going to because he's not good.
So that's what I want to see this week. I want to see him involve Gallup. I want to see him involve Cooks. I want to see him get CD going, and I want to see them open up the L. That's all I want.
I don't think we're going to see that, but I wouldn't hate CD Lamb having a good game.
I mean, bro, I know that you're an Eagles fan and you don't like Dallas, but I mean, Dak has the potential to throw for. I think he's thrown for 500 yards in a game. Like Dak,
no doubt.
Dak can sling the pill.
I know that he can, but I just don't think it's going to be this week.
Okay, that's fair. So you like the 49ers?
I do.
Okay,
I do like the 49ers here. I just think are we sure that Micah's going to be good to go?
Yeah. I mean, he came in and played last week. Like they were absolutely boat racing the Patriots and he was playing. If he wasn't healthy, he wouldn't have been playing in that game. Like he's healthy. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I just can't pick the Cowboys here. As much as I would actually like to see them beat the Niners, just because I also hate the Niners, I'm having a tough time seeing it. I don't think Dak has looked that good this year. And I don't know what's going to happen is this fucking guy's going to come into Philadelphia and just have 330 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, you're worried. You're scared.
It's just par for the course for him to play like super mid all year and then him come into Philly and just snap. So that's like what I'm mentally preparing for. I don't think that he's going to have one of those insane games this week, but I do think that it's going to be a close game. Let me see here. I still think I'm going to take the Niners.
Okay.
Minus 3.5.
Okay, sure.
All right. Monday night, Packers at Raiders. This is honestly a game that I would love to just see not on the television.
Dude, stop.
How do the Packers keep getting primetime games?
It's going to be a good game. Like, it's going to be a good game. Like, don't overthink it. Like, it's going to be a fun game to watch. Like, there's really like no issue with this game at all. I think they're evenly matched. This is first coach fired territory right here. if Josh McDaniels makes a dumbass fucking decision
It's
for
gonna
the
happen.
third week in a row, I don't know when their bye week is. I would assume that they would do it during the bye. But bro, he has lost that locker room, bro. He like you just see like every single week. Like I saw Josh Jacobs be like, dude, I'm so tired of fucking losing, like blah blah blah. Like you just have like real dogs and real players in that locker room that like you just if you don't have the respect, like bro, their bye week is week 13.
Oh
Like
God.
so I just like I said, I think that they're just like in that situation where it just definitely like need to make a change. So it is what it is.
I think it's concerning that, like, I'm looking just like through the stats from this game between that they had versus the Chargers last week, and honestly, part of me thinks that if they had Jimmy Garoppolo, they might have won this game.
For sure.
Um, just looking at the guys they have, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, like Hunter Renfro was really good when they had Derek Carr. And I still think that he's a pretty decent slot receiver, but he's just not getting the rock. Um, it's got to be so frustrating for those guys. I don't think Devontae Adams makes it the full season with them. I think he wants to get out of there because that guy's just won football games his whole life and they suck.
Yeah, but I mean, bro, you don't need to honor like this isn't the NBA. Like you don't need to honor him not being happy or whatever. They're not trading Devonte Adams. It was Devonte Adams could have played with Aaron Rodgers for the rest of his career and taken a pay cut and did his thing. He wanted to go to Vegas and play with his best friend Derek Carr. They played one season together. It was awful. He didn't even want to play with Derek Carr by the end of the season, and boom, he's not there anymore. This is the situation he got himself into. Unfortunately, he's probably going to have to stay there. I know it hurts because he's one of the best wide receivers in the game, and not seeing him on a relevant team sucks. But
It's so
dude,
weird.
they're not getting rid of him. Let's just call it as it is. Yeah, when's the last time you've seen a premier player in the NFL just like get traded mid-season? Like, has it ever happened?
McCaffrey.
Fair, great point. I forgot about that completely. But that's a completely different situation. Like the Panthers last season like officially made the decision to be like, okay, we're done. We suck. Like, let's get rid of McCaffrey and we're going to then in the offseason trade for a first overall pick. I think the Raiders are such a poorly ran organization that they actually like just can't do anything.
They should just continue to lose. They should continue to lose and acquire draft capital. They're sitting at third in the draft order right now. That can still get you some really fucking good players.
For sure. Sorry,
I would.
I just hit two legs on that parlay for the baseball game.
Oh yeah.
Stott just hit a single and bomb the
Oh
home.
nice.
Just had
Boom.
an RBI.
Yeah,
So
I bet on the Phillies money line, so it's good to see they're up 3-0.
all right. Sorry. Back to what we were talking about though. For this game,
It was Packers Raiders.
for this game, I don't know, man. Like
I don't think Garoppolo's playing.
this is a game where I need to see the injury report, bro. These teams have so
Yeah.
many injuries. Like this is an injury report game.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I would say though pre-injury report that I'd probably just end up taking the Packers just because if there is no Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm taking the Packers, but I think if Garoppolo plays, I'm gonna take the Raiders.
I respect that. I definitely respect that. Anything else that you want to touch on for the week 4 or 5?
I don't think so. That covers all the games. Let me just check my notes here. we're already kind of at like an hour and a half. I would say we can reconvene on Friday, seeing how the Drake album comes out. We can
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. That
we
was a
can go
question.
through first thoughts on that, and then we could probably talk just a couple bets for the weekend if you want to do that.
Yeah, real quick though. Do you think he drops? Like, are you worried that he
Yeah,
doesn't?
no, I think he is solely based off of that Instagram post that he had for the table for one.
Yeah,
Whenever he does those, something's coming out.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that on Friday. That sounds great to me. I'm gonna go watch the Phillies game, and I got 2 legs. I just need it to finish under 7.5, and I need the Phillies to win. I'm a little worried about the under, but let's just hope that they don't score any fucking runs. And it's $10 to win 228.
All right, I'll root for the under.
I'll
I
text.
already have the Phillies, so
I'll text you though, brother. Good
all
pod.
right. Good pod. Go Birds.
See ya.